Okay, so Adrian, I mean, an actress, an insurance agent, an MBA, a speaker and a coach. What an interesting, as she said, a long and winding road.
Yeah.
We should write a song about that. Anyway, I'm really curious as to what your takeaways were
Oh
from
my
our
gosh,
wonderful
so
new friend
many.
Michelle.
Yeah, so many. First off, I mean, she said, "Look, I saved up enough to take a year off, and that was my big time out." How many people have done that in their careers? 1% of 1% of 1%, that
Yeah,
really have done that. But she figured out, who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I want my life to look like? What a powerful thing that, I mean, that's what we try to do as coaches with the people we're coaching, but we do it in an hour every week or so. And that's the only time they think about it. And I mean, how important is that in our lives?
yeah. Well, I was amazed that 1 year turned into 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and I are big hockey fans. 5 minutes for fighting is about as long as we can. That's
Yeah.
our timeout, and it's not for
Yeah.
anything good. I was really impressed with her idea of hear, heal, and practice.
Yeah.
That you're hearing things, you're healing someone, you're practicing, and then that undercurrent of what are you learning? Constantly asking, what are you learning? What are you going to be taking forward? We talk about that all the time. That curiosity is a wonderful characteristic for great leaders and just for an interesting life. Be curious about things, ask a lot of questions, and what are you
Yeah.
learning? What are you hearing, healing, and practicing? That was a big takeaway for me.
Yeah, I thought that was really, yeah, no matter what we're hitting, yeah, those three things, am I learning something? Am I healing something? Am I practicing something? That's really powerful. I was also impressed by this idea of personal power because, yeah, sometimes, you and I, we do this with lots of, directors or VPs who want to become CEOs or move into the C suite, and we help them with their executive presence. And we try and let them know, look, this isn't about, appearing tough. It's not about, deepening your voice and saying, no, coming across like, no, it's about believing in yourself, as Michelle says. It's about your ability to influence others and get your wants and needs met. Now that is something deeper that comes to those three things she talked about, right? Authenticity, confidence, and purpose.
Yeah. One of the takeaway for me was the know who you are and then show who you are.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great way to put it. Once you know who you are, make sure that that's what you're showing to other people.
Yeah.
If you know that you're a good counselor, show people that and counsel. And I thought that's a great reminder.
Hmm.
Often we know who we are. Do we always show it in the right way?
I want to tell you, you say that every day you wake up and you have a few goals, right? To be what? If I
I
may put that
yeah,
here.
I always say be kind, be grateful, and be of service. And I think
Yeah.
if you can do those three things, you're going to have a good day.
Well, isn't that knowing who you are, though, and then showing who you are by doing those things, by being kind and gracious and of
Yeah, no, I think it's
service?
completely different. I can't.
Completely different. Okay, well, I
I
was
don't
completely
connect those
wrong.
dots at all. Yeah, it is interesting how these things do come together over
Yeah,
time, as we talk to
yeah.
different people. And then my last takeaway, which I thought was really interesting, is she says, take time for yourself, date yourself.
Mm,
I thought that was really interesting. We often talk about, take your spouse on a date or
yeah.
spend time with your kids as a special date. How often do we actually date ourselves? We say, what am I going to do tonight? Am I going
Yeah.
to read a good book? Am I going to go for a nice walk? Am I going to ride my bike? And that's one of the ways that she calms her anxiety. And then, my shameless plug for our sponsor, Magic Mind. I really do love that stuff. I've been presenting it to an insurance company, oddly enough. Michelle worked at one of those. 3 weeks in a row, and you're presenting and you're doing workshops and so on, and you wake up in the morning and it's easy to kind of get a little anxious. And I,
Mm.
take my little Magic Mind shot. I love that stuff, and it gives you 7 hours, easy up, easy down, calms me down, gets me in the flow. And they've got a new product coming out actually called gummies. Now I know, Adrian, when you think of gummies, you don't think
It's a
Magic
different
Mind.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
thing.
different thing. These little gummies give you a little 4 hour hit, which is really great because sometimes you don't need the seven,
Yeah.
you just need that presentation time. So again, go to magicmind.com/Chester and Adrian. No, go to magicmind.com/Gostick and Elton 30, and you get a 30%
20.
discount.
Oh, it's 30. Wow.
20,
30
30,
now. Oh.
put in whatever number you want and get the discount and wait for the gummies. But
Hang on,
I
hang
swear
on, hang
by
on. What is it? Which is it, 20 or 30?
it's 30.
Oh, okay.
I
So
said
that was
20
my bad.
earlier.
That was my
Yeah.
bad. Okay.
But
Yeah.
at any rate, it's great stuff, and I'm looking forward to the gummies. Well, listen. listen, when we talk about things, that we're grateful for, people that are kind and people of service, my mind goes to two names. How about you, Adrian? What are the two names that come to your mind? Kind, grateful, and of service.
Gandhi, Mother Teresa,
Martin
Brent
Luther
Klein, and
King.
Christy Lawrence, I think, are in the pantheon of
Yeah.
those. Our producer, Brent Klein, we want to thank him for putting this mess together. To Christy Lawrence, who helps us find great guests, and all of you listened in, thank you. If you like the podcast, download it, share it. We'd also love you to visit thecultureworks.com, where you can get some free resources to help you and your team culture thrive.
Yes, and if you like the podcast, please share it with friends and family. And we love when you do share these good ideas and our wonderful guests. We also love to speak to audiences around the world, virtually or in person. We also do workshops. We've got a wonderful executive coaching practice as well. So give us a call. We speak and coach on culture, teamwork, resilience. We'd love to talk to you about your event, wherever it might be. And of course, our book is available at fine bookstores everywhere, on Amazon, and Lit Video Books, which is one of our favorites as well. So listen, have a great week. Thanks for spending your time with us. And I hope you have a resilient and wonderful and anxious-free weekend or day or wherever you are in your week. And Adrian, you always get to wrap up, so go ahead.
Hey, and thanks everybody for joining us. Until next time, we wish you the best of mental health.